Welcome to Common Computer Private Limited e-learning program of ticketing tool for L1 support engineer. So we are discussing about ticket lifecycle management, ticket activities for L1 support engineer. So this will be very useful for the people who are all joining as a fresher in the organization, so that they are aware of how to handle the ticket and different status of the ticket, different kind of updates that to be provided in the ticket. So we are in part 4. We discussed about earlier we have discussed about the different sections in the ticket status, right from ticket creation, assignment, and managing the queue, making the ticket in work in progress, and discuss about SLA. So in this section 4, we'll discuss mainly about pending for updates, at what conditions we have to put the ticket in pending, and when we have to escalate the ticket to different people, different levels, that we'll discuss in this part 4. Pending for updates. So this is another important stage after the work in progress stage, pending for updates. So this pending status is very crucial. Most of the time, the end users are complaining that they are not happy about the way the ticket has been handled. Once the ticket is received in the engineer's queue, the engineer has put down the ticket on pending. Okay, so without providing the details or with providing the details, why they are putting the ticket in pending. So what we have to do, once a ticket is arrived to our cart, ticket is assigned, work in progress is made, and suppose if there are any deviation or delay is happening because of dependency with other activities, we are authorized to put the ticket in pending state. Pending means the SLA clock will not run, because for each and every ticket the SLA clock is running, right? So if you put the ticket in pending, the SLA clock will not run. And once you start updating the ticket, and you have to move the timing to normal work in progress time, then only the SLA will get started. So otherwise, SLA will be stopped. So if you see after 2 days or 3 days also, the SLA will be in the stopped condition. And the fourth day, if you close the ticket, and you'll be able to get the overall timing spent for the ticket. There are various reasons why we are keeping the ticket in pending, and these are all genuine reasons. So we need not worry about why we are keeping the ticket in pending. But normally, what happens here is for saving time, or if they are not willing to work on the ticket, they are busy with other activities. So they misuse the pending state, and they'll forget. Once they put the ticket in pending, they forget whether they are given the update or not. So user will be frustrated. So we should ensure that we are using the pending status properly for the tickets. So we'll go through the different stages available. There will be more scenarios, but I have given only 4 scenarios here. One is pending for user input. Say sometimes user has raised a request, and we need some details from the user, like maybe they wanted to create a distribution list. They'll create a request, but they have not provided what is the name of the distribution list required, who are overall should be the member of it, and who will be the manager for the DL. So these informations are required for creating a DL. And if they have not given, then we'll have to send them a mail, or even after work in progress status, if I mention all these things and move the ticket into pending, mention the details required. So I'll just submit the ticket. Automatically, the communication will be sent to the end user. So we'll also ensure we are sending separate mail to them, so that they are reverting back either by seeing a mail from my ID, or the mail from the ticketing system. Suppose if you are using a Remedy system, so from Remedy portal, the mail will go to the end user, maybe with the ID like remedy at some company name.com, something like that. It will be a common ID. You cannot reply back to that ID, anonymous ID kind of thing, service account ID. So by seeing the mail, the user have to open the ticket, and type in the details whatever we wanted it. So once user submits, then automatically the ticket status is getting changed from pending to normal work in progress. User need not do anything on that. So that is the workflow of the ticket. So even the analyst, whoever is owning the ticket, he'll be notified, same via mail or SMS, whatever it is, mentioning that the user has provided the details. You can work on the ticket. Now the ticket is changed to work in progress. So this is the example I have. And otherwise, sometimes we require approval for doing some activity. Say they want a common mailbox to be created for their business purpose. So as for the process, what we will do, we will ask for mail approval. So we'll say that please attach the mail approval from your project manager so that we can proceed. So again, we'll keep the ticket in pending and send it to the user. Normally, the communication sent to the user. User will get the mail and attach it to the ticket. Then automatically ticket change back to the work in progress status. So this is very normal scenario what I am discussing now. But actually, in the system, what we are doing in the advanced options, once the ticket is created by the user, or when the ticket is created by the user, based on the requirement, the questions will be populated. So, as I said, for distribution list creation, there will be basic questions to the user, like what is the name required, who are all the member, who are the project manager. So those details will be there in the ticket template. So user, while creating the ticket itself, they have to provide the details. So that is some kind of advancement or automation available in the ticketing system. The second scenario about the manager approval. So normally there is a delay in getting the mail approval, so the ticket will be kept on pending for a long time because manager have not seen it, or a user is following up with their manager for getting the approval, all those things. So what we have done is, in the advancement of ticketing system, the ticket workflow will be sent to the manager. Once user creates a ticket, immediately the ticket will go to the project manager or reporting manager. Once the reporting manager approves in the system, not via mail, okay, they have to open the ticketing system and provide the approval by seeing the ticket. By approving the ticket, then the ticket will come to the analyst queue. Then analyst will verify what is the requirement and whether the manager is approved in the workflow, and then we will proceed with the further details. So this is the actual scenario happening in the ticket. So this is pending for user input. Some input is required from the user, and there are some systematic way we are getting the input from the user. Pending for approvals, that scenario also I explained now. We can make it automated so that we can save time for end user as well as analyst. Sometimes they may not know the manager approval is required. So after creating the ticket only, they will come to know the manager approval is required. So what we are doing in the ticketing system, we are configuring in such a way, based on the category what you are choosing, it will trigger for a manager approval. Sometimes it will not trigger. So suppose you are asking for a mouse, that doesn't require any manager approval, right? Because the hardware, whatever you are holding, it is having a problem. So you are going to replace the hardware. Either you repair it or replace it. Normally, we don't go for repairing because there is no repairable component available in keyboard and mouse kind of things. Okay. So we go for replacing. So we process it and we replace it. That doesn't require manager approval. But otherwise, I want to upgrade the memory module from 4 GB to 8 GB. So that requires a approval from the manager because system configuration itself is getting changed and that cost extra to the project. So we'll have to get a confirmation from the project manager. In that case, we'll go for a project manager approval. So that is the second one, pending for approval. Pending for vendor support. So what happens here is we are having a printer. So somebody is writing a issue, creating a ticket mentioning that printer is not working. And we are analyzing the issue. We are moving the ticket into work in progress. We are logging into the printer and verifying everything. And we are opening the printer and checking the physical components also. And we are seeing that there is a problem in the paper sensor or any other hardware component. That's the reason the printer is not printing. Now, it is very rare that we'll be having the spare parts in our office, printer components, okay, because it is very costlier, or it is not necessary for the organization to keep the spares. So what we will do is, we'll keep the ticket in pending. Alternatively, we'll be creating a ticket with the vendor, calling the vendor and inform them that the spare parts is required. So please provide an immediate replacement. Or they will ask for a site visit, and they'll be coming to the site. They will bring the spare parts and they'll replace the replace the problematic hardware in the printer. So now, because this is being operated by the vendor, and till the vendor comes to the office and provide the support, we will keep the ticket in pending for vendor support. Once the vendor reaches our office, we'll just move the status to work in progress and mention that vendor has arrived and we are working on the issue. We'll get back to you shortly, something like that. So each and every state we have to provide a detailed comment so that user is getting the latest update and is not getting frustrated. That is very important. So we have a lot of dependency and the user should be aware of it. So otherwise, it's not a simple thing like once you raise a request, it will be immediately served. So user should not have misunderstanding. So we have to clarify it. Pending for client approval. So uh, the user may be having a issue in a client laptop, client desktop, or they want some software in the client desktop or laptop. They are holding the laptop in the office, which is provided by the customer. So now, to do any changes in the customer asset, if it is our own organization asset, then we are authorized to do any changes, any hardware change or software change. But if it is provided by the customer, then definitely we need the approval from customer only. Otherwise, we cannot process the request. So we'll clearly mention it and move the ticket into pending. So these are all the general scenarios available in the organization for moving the ticket into pending status. So now, after moving the ticket into pending status, maybe with the vendor support or internal support, if there is a delay, okay, and user is escalating that we have to provide immediate support, and we have the option to escalate the issue with the vendor. There will be options available. So we cannot keep quiet after raising a ticket with the vendor. So if there is a time bar, okay, after 4 hours or 8 hours one day, definitely we'll have to escalate the issue with the vendor and get the quick help. For example, we are raising a ticket with Microsoft for getting support in the group policy issue or any other operating system related issue, and they are not providing a support. In Microsoft website itself, there is an option to escalate the ticket to the next level. So immediately the ticket will go to next L1 or L2, or the priority will be changed. Maybe the initial priority is P4. Now the priority is changed to P3 or P2. So based on the issue. If suppose there is a major issue, then we can directly raise a priority 1 ticket and escalate it to the highest level. So that is available for escalation option. That is there in the vendor matrix itself. That is one example. Then escalate to the internal support team. Suppose you are working for a desktop support and there is a issue in the Outlook mailbox, user mailbox. So what happens here is you are trying to fix the issue in the mailbox, and but nothing can be done from the desktop side, right? Only we can do the Outlook client configurations. So immediately we need the support from the L2 team or L3 team in the Exchange tower, because they'll have right privilege and access to the Exchange server, mailbox server. So what we can do is we can escalate the ticket to the L2 level or L3 level, mentioning that whatever the troubleshooting done by you and the interactions done with the user, then we'll have to update all the details in the ticket, and then we can move the ticket to L2 team. And parallelly, what we have to do, we'll have to inform the associate, the end user, that we are escalating the ticket to the L2 team or L3 team because we don't have the privilege to do all the other configurations. We have done whatever required on the desktop side. So further, if there is any issue, you can reach out to us and we'll be able to help them. So likewise, you can mention the update and provide the update in the ticket, and then you can transfer the ticket to the next level of the team. So this is for internal support team. So you can also escalate the vendor. You can also escalate to the internal support team. These are all the options available in the ticketing system. This option should be available. If it is not there, then it is not a proper ITL based framework system. We can use the escalation options whenever there is a requirement. There is hierarchical escalation method or the level-wise escalation method, whichever is required in that organization, we can proceed with the escalation. So hierarchical escalation means we'll escalate it to the team lead, then to the manager, then to the senior manager, and to the director. It is going like that. A level-wise escalation means we'll escalate it to L2, L3, L4, the topmost whatever available. So that is the different types of escalations terminologies used in the industry. And now we are coming to the completion of part 4. So in this session, we have discussed about various stages of various different status of pending. Okay, so at what conditions we have to put the ticket in pending, and what is the justification we have to give it to the user if there is a delay because of our side issue or because of third party issue or because of customer related approvals issue. So whatever it is, we have to update the end user so that they are not getting frustrated. And we have discussed about different types of escalations. So with this, we are completing part 4. In part 5, we'll discuss how to close the ticket and reopen the ticket and customer satisfaction also. Yeah, thank you very much.